Hey everybody, this is Doc. It's Monday morning, the 8th of February, and I wanted to do a quick video for a friend of mine who is also in the business of being an entrepreneur, and she struggles juggling all the things that have to happen. All the balls you have in the air is a real struggle, and so I told her I would put together this video and actually share it with anybody who might want some help with sort of time or task management to get through a day. I'm going to show you a tool that could not be simpler or less expensive. Actually, you could get by without it with just maybe a text editor. But I wanted to touch on how I shape my days up. And this usually takes me, gosh, maybe 15-20 minutes in the morning while I'm having coffee to put this together. But this is a little program called Scapple, Scapple. I think it's like a $10 or $20 program or something like that, and you can see how pretty well basic it is. You basically just double click somewhere, right, and you add notes, and you can, after you've added the notes, you can change the format, you can fill colors and all that kind of stuff. And if you hold down your left mouse button and drag it over something, it'll draw a line. Periodically I do that kind of stuff if I need relationships between things. But basically what I do is I get up in the morning and I start with a template that has the morning, afternoon, and evening across the top. And obviously if I've got stuff that takes me away from business that day, I don't do anything with that particular section. So for me, that a lot of times it's the evenings, when the evenings are going to be hard to get something done. But I try to put at least 5 or 6 things on each in each column, and if time gets tight, if periodically I'll get jammed up in the morning or in the afternoon, and something might have to get pushed later, I'll just slide them over to where they need to be. And for me, when I complete them, I just delete the item so that over the course of the day, my list begins to look more sparse. And then if I want to do something like, for me, generating content for a bunch of sites using SEO Content Machine is a really involved project. So I can, we could be doing 10 or 15 or 20 sites in a day. Each one of those will need an SCM run, and those SCM runs take, anywhere between 10 and 25 minutes, depending on how many keywords we're using for each article batch. And so, right before I go to bed, a reminder like this, I'll come back to this page and I'll look to see what's left so that it becomes the start of the next day. And I'll look at something like this and I'll queue up whatever I can so that it's running as much of the overnight as possible, and we hit the ground running the next day. This is really important if you've got outsourcers, because for me, my outsourcers are in the Philippines, and so what is happening while I'm sleeping is generally what's happening while they're working. So I try to make sure that we've got a plan that works for like a sort of like a worldwide system of tasks pretty much 24/7. But anyway, you can see, like, I don't bother to delineate between personal tasks like working out or prepping for meetings or things I do on sites and what have you. I make a special effort to do things that are going to be more intellectually strenuous, like in the morning, and basically in the afternoon I like to do short, really almost mindless tasks, things that don't require a lot of thought, or like I might have a conference call like I've got this afternoon, or run an errand, those kinds of things. And then in the evening, if I'm going to have a working evening, I'll usually have like Netflix on, or something in the background, music or something like that. And so I work on projects that can get a little bit more drawn out. Like I've got to put flyer together for my church men's group. That's going to take me, a little while, but it's kind of a project, I guess I would say. It probably might take me an hour to do that because I'm not very good with that stuff. If I've got to learn about something, like I'm going to be learning about how to use a new slideshow maker, makes videos out of slides. I'll probably need an hour and a half to really try to figure that thing out. I'll usually schedule that kind of stuff in the evenings. And then I like to, toward the end of the night, I like to lift a little bit more. But anyway, the bottom line is the important takeaway from this is that it's just an easy way, and it's so fast to fill this out and to reorder it and to move things around. But it's a compass for your day, right? You can pull it up. I keep it pinned to my taskbar so that I can grab it at any given time. I just think it's how we stay more efficient. So if you find yourself forgetting things, or when you remember something, you don't have a really quick, ready place to drop it. By all means, use Scalpel. Come down here, kind of like double click and create like a holding area until you figure out what you want to do with it, or leave it down there until you reset this and make this, February the 9th with whatever's left. It's just an easy way to keep a running list of everything that goes on.